Hello everybody, welcome to Frontier Mentality. Today we are making chicken and dumplings. So, in here I had 4 chicken thighs. I seasoned it with 1 whole bulb of garlic, 1 whole red onion. I've got rosemary, turmeric, cumin, what was the other one? Let me see. Curry and black pepper. So here I am deboning it and the skins. Now I am keeping these bones. I will freeze the bones in a gallon freeze bag to start building up a new supply for bone broth. And here we are, we're deboning the chicken. Let's get up you down a little bit. So nothing is graceful about this, so we're just taking it. It's hot, so you'll see me pull away a few times because it's still steaming inside. But I want to show you how easy. Now mine are called drop biscuit dumplings. So when you see me make the biscuit form of the dumpling dough, is also how I make my biscuits for breakfast on the weekends. So it's okay if I leave some of the skin and some of the gristle on the bone because, like I said, I'm saving that to go in the freezer to make bone broth. But okay, let's raise y'all up a little bit. I'll get you up back over here and drop you down. So now we're going to get the chicken in here into bite-sized pieces. Some of it's cooled now, so I'm just pulling it apart. I guess I started off with about 4 cups of water, and then I put the chicken in it. You cook it until it's cooked all the way through, so it's usually about 30 minutes to 40 minutes on over about medium, because I didn't want it to boil over, because I was extracting some of the marrow from the bone but not all of it. I did keep the skin on when I was cooking it in the pot because that's giving me and your family collagen back to your skin. My kids call it the famous chicken and dumplings, so maybe everybody has their own way of making dumplings. I'm going to show you how to do it and make it stretch. Now this will feed me and my husband for 2 to 3 days, maybe even 3 days. In the past, depending on what I have in my pantry, sometimes I put cream of mushroom in here just for just a little something different. So there's really no wrong way. You season it to the way you like it, the way that you know your family will eat. Now I do have some garlic powder in here, but like I said, I've got whole cloves. I think it ended up being like 6 or 7 individual cloves, but I used a whole ball of it because this girl likes garlic. Garlic helps boost your immune system with sickness going around in our town. My grandson, their family, let's see, mom and dad are sick. I don't know all what they had, but I do know my grandson was throwing up, so that's sad, but okay. Let's see. Excuse me if any of y'all are queasy talking about people being sick. Okay. Let me wash my hands. They're kind of got the chicken fat grease on. Now, let's go over here. Now I'm going to use the bowl that the chicken, let's drop you back down so you can see, the bowl that the chicken was in. Now, if you have regular milk, it's 1 cup of regular milk added to this. But, yeah, I don't too much have it, so I eyeball, and I will give you a guesstimate of how much I'm using, because this is just how I cook. That's probably a cup. So probably about 2 cups of flour. That's what I'm going to use, and it's self-rising flour. And then I am adding, and this is 3 ounces of the powdered milk. And then I use, well, it's a fork, but it's going to be about like one of your big tablespoons of mayonnaise. Doesn't matter the brand. Whatever brand you like, you can use. I use Hellmann's and Kraft, because I'm a bit of a, what you would call a snob on mayonnaise. My husband loves Duke, but Duke is too tangy for me, so I don't use it. I've got filtered water, because I'm using powdered milk. Like I said, if you got a cup of milk, just a little at a time until you get the consistency of the thickness that you want. Now, I will probably add another splash of the powdered milk into my broth over here. That gives it that creamy white that everybody associates with chicken and dumplings. I wanted to show you that you can use powdered milk as well. Now, before it gets all the way to the biscuit stage, I'm fixing to add the secret recipe. That's not really a secret, but this is what I do. I got the Lauren's ground or garlic salt. And I'm putting about a tablespoon in there. That just, to me, just gives my dumplings a little bit of flavor. But if you're making regular biscuits, please skip the garlic salt. And we're getting it to a rough, it's supposed to hold together. Let's get it there. I am using a smaller bowl. I usually use the one I put my bones and skin in. But if you got dogs, don't give them chicken bones. But if you want to give them the chicken skin, that's okay. It's good for your dogs too. You can freeze it as well with your bones. It helps add more collagen into your bone broth. So I might keep 2 out for the dogs, and then put 2 in for the bone broth that I'll be saving, because I just did a big mess of it yesterday. Okay, so you see it's a very thick mess. So if I was making my biscuits, I would just go ahead and spread out a baking sheet. Make sure I either grease it or butter it. I even use a small iron skillet sometimes and just dump the whole thing in it. And then cut it out like you would cut cornbread. That's what I actually have over here. Is my biscuits that I can eat on during the week if I want to, and what have you. I gotta get this jacket off by a warm stove. It is chilly, and I do have my windows open, so. Okay, let's raise y'all back up a little bit so you can see what's going on. Watch out, Tay-Tay. Of course, you're cooking. All the pups are going to be in here, so we're going to cut this back down to a medium. And this is also filtered water that I use for my tea, so I'm going to add a little more water. You want about 3 cups of water in there. So now I am going to add about 1.5 ounces of the powdered milk. Like I said, you could use a whole cup, but I'm also showing how you can use your preps. I prefer the powdered milk, to be honest. Okay, now we see all that juiciness, and that looks about the color of chicken and dumplings right there. So I've got it on medium high. And now we're just gonna drop the dumplings in. That's why I said it's called this. And you plop it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm just kind of going around. Let me show you where there's a hole. I'm dropping it in. And how do you tell if the dumplings are done? They still float to the top, but when you pull one out and you can slice it with a spoon or a knife, and it would have like the consistency of a wet biscuit, or look like a biscuit on the inside. Maybe I can get one done before, or I'll pause this if I can. Yuck. Oops. All the pups are under me now. They smell chicken. I try to clean as I go. So let's cut her up a little bit. We do want it to boil a little bit. Now remember your chicken, I do not stir for a few minutes because the chicken is on the bottom, and we want the dumplings to hold together per se. And I won't use a metal fork in here because it is a Teflon pan. I only have 1 Teflon left. No, technically 2, but here's the other one, and it's strictly for popcorn only. And this one here, I usually just make the dumplings in. I have made them in my cast iron one, but I went a little smaller on this batch. But this batch still, like I said, will feed us 2 meals. So Bruce can take some of this to work tomorrow, and I can eat some for lunch tomorrow. I hate to say it, I'm a bread baby. I love dumplings. I love bread. And I am trying to lose weight, so there's that. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned up while we're waiting on the dumplings to come back up to a bit of a boil there. But I did want to show you that you can make a lot of food for very little. I know everything is expensive. And for drying milk purposes, I would have to say this Nestle's Nido is probably the best tasting. Even tastes more like the gallon milk that you would get at the grocery store. It goes a lot further than the gallon at the grocery store, so there's that. That's just some of that filtered water and get everything off my counter. I don't want to crawl up there yet. So come on, babies. I'll bring y'all back in just a second. It's going to be a little bit of a long video. Okay, I just wanted to see, so I stuck my spoon down in here just a little bit because I don't, like I said, don't want to bust the dumplings up too much. But it was beginning to get a little foamy. So I'm kind of going down, trying to protect the dumplings and give it a wiggle. And I am sipping on my matcha immune boosting. Oh, excuse me. Lemon and matcha is a little bit on the extreme side. But it's got the coconut cream, kind of helps blend it a little bit. If you haven't watched that video, it was released on Tuesday. Just doing all the things to stay healthy, y'all. Okay, let's pause it again. Okay. Now what I'm doing is now I'm going under and lifting. You can see the dumplings are holding together. And they're still a little, but they're doing nicely. The reason I use a wood spoon too is because it will help it from not, for some reason the wood will keep it from boiling over. And you can add butter to it. I'm just not going to this time because I did leave so much of the skin on. And sometimes I put butter in when I'm making my broth anyways. I did not this time. Okay, they're holding together. So let me see if we can get one up here so y'all can see what it looks like on the inside, and so I can also tell. And yes, it's done. So I'm gonna cut this on low or simmer. Let me see if I can bring it to the picture here. But you see it looks like a biscuit on the inside where I cut it. That tells me that they're done. Oh man, I outdo myself every time I cook dumplings. Probably because it's one of my favorite foods. And with the cold weather coming in, 42 was the low this morning. So this will just help warm you up. And like I said, you'll eat on this for a couple of days. And that is making your food go further. Alright everybody, please stay safe. Please get ready and please get prepared. Frontier Mentality signing out.